We'll start with the buffer pairs first. It is usually divided into two n character halves. It means what? N is a half number of characters. So I am dividing the total buffer into two halves. First half and second half with n character. Okay, where n is indicating what? Number of characters we can store into a single half. Okay. That for example, I can store 1024 or 4096 characters into this particular buffer. So consider the statement. If I consider the statement, so I am taking the example value is equal to rate into 3, or you can use E is equal to mc square. That is left to you. Whichever statements you want, you can use as an example. So now here what I did, so here I used, see, I start storing all the characters into this particular buffer, okay? And I'm start using two pointers. One pointer is forward pointer and second pointer is lexeme beginning. So here left half is filled with the character, the complete left half. Here we are having right half. So here we are having end of the first half. So that is nothing but this I consider it as left half. Other will be there as right half. So in left half only I store all the data. Okay. So it has two pointers. We already know the forward pointer and lexeme beginning. Here. First we'll start with the lexeme beginning. It always point to the beginning of the lexeme, which is going to match with the pattern and generates the token. So now it will always, the lexeme beginning, it will always point to what? Beginning of the lexeme. Okay, and it will go on matching with the pattern and it will start generating what? Tokens. And the forward pointer, see here we are having what? Forward pointer here. The forward pointer moves on the next one by one till the end of the lexeme. If it is not observed, and it will get stopped. Means what? It will start, see, forward pointer, it will point to A, L, U, E. If it is any characters are there here, no, it will get stopped. Means it will consider it as what? One lexeme. So that will consider it as one lexeme. It will start producing what? Value as a one token. So we'll see here how it will be. So now here we are having with what? Separators. So the buffer is having with this particular equations, whatever we are having, we are given with what? Some separators here. Value, after value we are having one separator, after equal to we are having one separator, rate, after that we are having one separator, star, after that we are having one separators, and 3 is one after 3 we are having with what? Semicolon. Semicolon is indicating what? The end of the statement. It is indicating what? So it is also act as what? Separator over there. So forward pointer moves on next one by one till the end of the lexeme. It is not a observed. Till that we need to move. So this is one example, and without using an separator also we can store the characters into an buffer. See here what happens here. We are having with what? VALUB. So this I will consider it as one token. Equal to I will consider it as second token. Rate is considered as third token. Star is considered as fourth token, and 3 is considered as what? Fifth token. And it is we are completing with what? The statement will be get completed over here. And after that we need to have the EOF. It is nothing but end of the file. Okay. So now here read n byte into one half of the buffer each time. Means we need to read all the bytes. Okay, that must be stored in one half of the buffer, where I stored all the things into an left buffer. If input has less than n byte, put a special EOF marker in the buffer. Okay, so now if you are having here, if it is less than our n byte, if it is get completed, okay, within the left half itself, put special symbol. We are used what here? EOF marker. For example, here I am having the end of the file. So here it is there. Here it is all will be left half. It's all will be left half. Here we are having with what? Right half. If it is the 3 is get, see, this whole statement is get completed in the left half itself. Okay, so now what we need to use? This EOF as a marker. It is showing it as what? It is special symbol we used. It will showing it as what? End of the buffer, end of the file. When one buffer has been processed, read n bytes into other buffer half. When one buffer has been processed, so for example, if we are not completed in one buffer, we need to use what? Other buffer for reading, or we need to read the other half for to store the data. Okay, for example, here if I used here if I used what? All the datas with an separator, that time if it is not completed in the left half, that time what I need to use? I need to store all the datas in a first half, that is left half, and other whatever remaining is there, that must be stored in other half also, and that other half will be given with what? End of the file. Okay, so here it will takes the more time while doing it. So how it will be? We're going to consider one program on this buffer pairs here. If forward at the end of the first half, for example, here if I consider like this, okay, here we are having value VA L U V E U E. If I use the separator, equal to, if I use, then if I use with what? Rate I T E. Okay, if I use star, one star here, this will get completed. So one half is get completed. Another star if I use, then equal to star 3, not equal to here, star 3, then end of the line. Here EO F, here we are having the right half. This is one half complete, one half, that is left half, and one more is having with what? Other half. We already studied it as before. So to understand this program, one more time I have drawn here. So now if forward at the end of the first half, so for example, if the forward pointer, it is end of the first half, if it is here, if the forward pointer is here, we will think reload the second half. We need to reload the, if it is end of the first half, what we need to do? Reload the second half, set forward pointer to the beginning of the second half. Yes, it is already end of the forward pointer. Forward pointer is pointing to end of the first half. So because of that, why we need to do? What we need to do? We need to do the reload the second half and set the second half nothing but what? Your star 3. Okay, so here we need to store the second half. We need to reload the second half and set the forward pointer must be point to the what? Beginning of the second half. Else if forward at the end of the second half, it means what? If forward pointer is pointing to here, if it is forward pointer is pointing to end of the second half, that time vice versa, what we need to do? Reload the first half, set the forward to the point to what? Beginning of the first half. Okay, so else what we need to do? Forward plus plus. Each time what we are doing, we need to go on incrementing the forward pointer, and lexeme beginning will be always pointing to where? It at the starting of the lexeme. So now by having this, what happens? It takes the 2 tests for each advance of the forward pointer. Means what? It need to check always. Once it is increment, it need to check whether it is pointing to end of the first half or end of the second half. So it will take what? More time. So to reduce the conditions checker, we need to minimize the optimization. It means what? We need to use what? End of the file of the each end of the file will be for each time, each half. So that time what will be? It will get reduced with the what? Second half. So because of that, what they will do? They are start using with the new technique. So the new technique, that is nothing but whatever buffer pairs with sentinels. So here what happens? So each half are given with what? EOF, end of the file. So now here what happens? By having this buffer pairs here, each time we need to check what? Whether forward pointing is end of the first half or end of the second half. So to reduce this, we are using the second concept. The second buffer technique is nothing but what? Buffer pairs with sentences. Here what happens? We are having values with the separators and they are given with, see here, each half. See here this will be what? Complete. This will be your complete first half, and here it will be second half. This will be first half and this will be second half. So here what happens? Add extra character at the end as a sentinels. So we are using what? EOF character at the end as a sentinels. See, each time we need to use, once first half is completed, we are using here, and the second half is get completed, we are using here, and also we are, once we completed with the statements also, we are using what? EOF. Extend each buffer half to hold the sentences at the end. We already studied. Once first half is EOF, after statement complete EOF, and once we are having end of the second half, we are using with what? EOF. And we are using it optimize the code by reducing the number of tests to 1 per advance of the forward. It means what? Each time by using with the EOF, here it will reducing the forward test. It will reduce the forward test. How? By we'll going to see with the program. We already went with what? Buffer pair program. So it takes what? 2 tests each time. So to reduce, what we used? Buffer sentences. Okay. So now here what happens? At starting itself, we need to check with an EOF. We used with what? Forward plus we used. See here, if I use forward is equal to EOF. Okay, so if forward at the end of the first half, it will go, else if forward at the second half. Yeah, it already told. It means what? Either it will be end of the first half, or it will be end of the second half, or it will be terminating the statement. So that thing only written here. Either if it is forward is pointing to EOF, it means what? It will be end of the first half, or forward at the end of the second half, else it is terminating process. Means what happens here? It needs what? Just a single test per character. So by having buffer sentinels, it will optimize the test. So because of that, we need to store all the data by using with what? Buffer sentinels. Understood? If any doubts, you can contact. Thank you, one and all.